Got it. All right. Well, first of all, thank you guys for coming in. My name is Kyrie. I am with Tenga. So if you are not here for Tenga, you are in the wrong place. I've been with Tenga for about a year now, which has been super fun. But before that, I was in the industry for about 14 years. I ran a store in Hawaii called Central Yours. So I've been in a lot of different places in industry. So I kind of get the struggles on the boutique side, and I'm understanding the struggles on the manufacturing side and all that good stuff. But that is we're here to kind of give you some cool product information on the line, and then some tips and tricks that I have for selling it with customers. So super fun stuff. Um, I'm a pretty informal kind of gal, so if you guys have questions, I will be keeping an eye on the chat as well. So I will answer them as we go as much as possible. And then, of course, Molly has direct access to me. So if anything pops up that she can't answer, I'm around. All right, you guys ready? All right. So, do you guys happen to know what tanga means? It's like a tricky thing. And I feel like I've only ever had like one person get it, and it's because they Googled it while we were on the training. So tanga actually is from a Japanese word and it means refined or like elegant or graceful. So you'll kind of see that a lot across our line, just in terms of like shapes and like what's presented versus what's not presented. We were founded in 2005 by Koichi Matsumoto in Japan. He used to work on supercars, which I always thought was the coolest thing in the whole world. I've been a Tenga stand for 14 years, so. But with that being said, he has kind of like an engineering kind of mindset and a very like detail-oriented mindset. So everything that we have with Tenga, it will always be like very researched first. It's like there are so many prototypes and the process is crazy. Like you can't, it's like a top secret room. No one is allowed in there except for him and his, chosen staff. And everything will also have some kind of aspect to it to help with like easy cleaning. Because again, detail oriented, we know that cleaning is not everyone's favorite thing to do with toys. So, Tenga is also kind of a company that wants to kind of make self-pleasure normalized, where that's why you will not find anything with like any kind of body parts on it or anything. We're supposed to be kind of trying to reconnect people with the idea that self-pleasure is self-care and it should be part of your just daily life. It's not anything to be taboo or shy about. It's just what it is. So that being said, we're known all across the world, but most notably, we are known for this everywhere except for the United States. This is basically as popular as the Coca-Cola bottle is in Asia and Europe. So people know what this is. You'll find it in stores like Don Quixote. You'll find it in CVS in certain countries. This thing is everywhere. It doesn't look like anything. It doesn't look like a sex toy at all. This is kind of like the OG product. That's kind of where we started everything. These guys are disposable. They're plastic on the outside, but inside they have a pre-lubricated elastomer, and they're all very textured on the inside. And the shape specifically, this shape is supposed to help with the kind of vacuum suction. So you'll find on the top, there's a little sticker. I'm actually going to open this one because I found that a lot of people don't know what it looks like because it's sealed. So I'm going to open it. So you pop that guy off. There's a little hole there. And then the bottom actually, it says open. Japanese packaging is always super easy to open. That comes off. And then this lid comes off like that. And that's what the opening looks like. You can see that we're lubed. We are ready to go. And if you actually play with it, it's like you're going to get some resistance because of the air, but if you cover the hole, we have lots of suction. So it's very fun. And then with this one, because again, we know that cleanliness is kind of important to us specifically as a brand, you throw this away when you're done. You don't got to worry about fluids or leakage. Just throw it away. Don't try to reuse it. I've had customers tell me, we get more than no. No, that is no, don't do that. Please don't. With that line, we did expand quite a bit. So you'll find like colors like this, With Tenga, our colors mean something. The red will be standard, always. Black will be the most extreme version, so it'll be like hard. So it'll be a little bit more textured, more like suctiony sometimes. It just depends on which item it is. And then white will always be like the softer version. That's the for people who don't want a whole bunch of stimulation all at once. So those are kind of like the basics there. And then we have cool things like this guy. And I wanted to specifically like mention this one because it's a dual-ended toy, but the passages do not meet. They kind of go like this. So, because it is a disposable item, if you open one side, you may as well use both sides because it's not going to last. You can't seal it. They're connected in a way. But this one also is kind of popular for people who want to like use it together. Um, so it just depends on you. The sky's the limit. The one side is going to be a soft version of it, and the other side is like the harder version. Hi, welcome in. I see someone just popped in. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. And then we also have things like this guy. Um, this is the US Tenga, and I know that that sounds like US size because everything's always bigger in America, but that is not what this stands for. This is ultra size. So this is just for people who want a fully enveloped feeling. It doesn't matter what size you are. However, it just so happens to accommodate larger sizes as well. But that's not what it stands for. Ultra size. And these come as well in the red, black, and white. So you can kind of gauge what your customer is looking for in terms of sensation there. So that's the cups. That's our very first product, and we're most known for it. But in the United States, we're actually known for that guy, the egg. So this is the one that has started it all. You'll see tons of different ones now. They exist on the market. It's such a cool idea. So this one actually is also supposed to be a single-use masturbator. You could, in theory, get a couple more uses out of this, but we can only guarantee that it's awesome one time. And I can show you why. But the texture is whatever the pattern is on the wrapper here. So you would just peel him open and he pops open just like an Easter egg. And then you get this little sleeve. It's very cute. Has a little hole here. And it comes with a single use of our egg lotion, which looks like that. So basically, it's not pre-lubricated, but it's ready to go right out of the package. So this one, and just as a pro tip, if you ever see us out in the wild or we ever come do a product demo for you, we do not use lubricant to demo our toys. We use hand sanitizer. So do with that what you will. So I'm just going to put some hand sanitizer in my egg here. Got my cool stick. So this guy looks small, but he is mighty. You pull down from the bottom and he'll go all the way down.
What?
Yes, all the way down. Don't pull from the middle because your material does need room to stretch and it will pop. But yeah, pull down from the bottom, he'll go all the way down. And then you can kind of see, so this is the first time I've been playing with this one this morning. It's kind of getting, you can't see it. It's kind of lumpy, so it's trying to wear out right here. So it's not really like meant to be used like over and over and over. It's just like a one-time kind of thing. And then, like I said, the texture on the inside is actually what the wrapper is. This is a different version. This is actually the, ooh, making this. This is cubic, which comes in the new standard series. So you can kind of see that. It's cool. I've also had a lot of success with these for people who put them over the heads of their wands, just as a fun additional texture. So, like, you can use them with partners, you can use them by themselves, you can cut off the top. I've had people do that too. Cut off the top here, and it becomes like a handy or a BJ helper. Sky's the limit. These are really, really cool. They sell so fast. They're so cute. People mostly will be like, "What is that?" And you tell them, and like, "Nuh-uh," and then they'll grab one, and then they come back for more. They're really, really fun. So yeah, like I said, throw it away when you're done. Don't keep it. Those come in different series. So the Cubic is part of the new standard series. There's 6 different SKUs. They're all very fun. And then we have the hard-boiled as well. The hard-boiled elastomer is sturdier, so you can play a little bit rougher with them if people are enthusiastic, or you just want more of a sensation. So that would be the hard-boiled. Any questions on the disposables before I move on? Oh, this hand sanitizer smells weird. Sorry.
Those are so fun. I love those.
They're really, really awesome. I am a huge fan. They've always done well everywhere I've been. People always cannot stop talking about the eggs just because they're such great just add-on sales for people. And they're great as couple toys as well. Easter too is really popular. My store in Hawaii, we used to hide them around the store like an Easter egg hunt. So let's move on to some reusable products, I think. Um, so I'm going to talk about the spinners, which are really cool. It's kind of like for people who've had the eggs and they've had the cups and now they were getting tired of just buying the eggs and the cups all the time and throwing them away. So we have the spinner, and the spinner is actually really, really cool because it's a really, I guess, tactile experience, but it doesn't have any motor to it or anything. And I'll show you why it's called the spinner. So we have this little guy here. He pops open. Again, we have a non-anatomical opening. We're gonna use my weird smelling hand sanitizer, RIP. And then this one, we actually are going to put it here. And when you squeeze out the air like normal, if you pull up from the top, let's see if I can get you guys the greatest visual here. It's actually gonna spin around the shaft. It's also kind of like an ASMR experience. I'm so sorry if you can hear the slurping, but yeah, so it's actually using suction and our cool little coil in here to create a spinning sensation without any motor. So the sky is, you can play with roommates or whatever. Like no one's gonna know you have it. It's not buzzing in the corner or something. Or from the bottom, you can actually push up, and then we now have a head stimulator. So it's spinning along the head of the penis because we know that the underside of the head of the penis has similar nerve endings as the clitoris. So this is the spinner. Then when you're done, you're going to want to wash it out. So this one you can actually fold like this. You don't want to fold it past this first spring here just because you don't want to damage the coil. But you can get in there and you can clean it really, really easily. Someone told me it looked like a Beyblade. I thought that was funny. That might probably just showed my age though. And like I said, with Tenga, we try to kind of make things easier for cleaning. So the packaging actually on this one, the bottom comes off and you now have a drying rack. So you can put him back in here when he's done and he can dry nicely and then you can just put it back together. And now we have toy storage. So it's not going to get linty and weird. It's gonna stay nice.
I love a good cover because I hate when I have to like throw anything silicone in like a jar or something. All you know what
Yep.
I mean? So it's like nice to have like a product that has a home. It's nice to have like its own little snuggle home.
Yes, I agree. I've got a question about the stick. Molly, do you guys have the sticks with you yet? Did we give them to you guys? Okay. I can make that happen so you guys can have access to them. You're welcome. And yes, Beyblades in ages. Yep, it's been a long time. I was gobsmacked when they mentioned it in my training, and I was like, not the Beyblade. Um, so with these guys, this is one of the very few exceptions in terms of the color kind of system that Tenga has. These kinds kind of have just willy-nilly colors, but I wanted to show you what the packaging looked like before it's been opened because on the back, they have kind of like a character stat map if you play video games. So you can kind of see like if you want something that has like a wider diameter or a smaller diameter, if you want more texture, if you want something like more stimulating. So whatever the longer like side of this little triangle is pointing to is going to be the different kind of characteristics that the item will have. And all of them have that on the packaging, which is cool because the spinner, otherwise, I feel like it's hard to see what the actual texture is. Four new, man, this chat is popping. I love it. All right. So after the spinner, it did really, really well for us, but we are constantly listening to consumer feedback. So we try to just kind of like update things as well as possible just to make sure that everything is enjoyable, right? So with that being said, we kind of launched the DXs last year. So same technology, it's a spinner DX, but it's actually 40% bigger than the original spinner here. Oh, he's a little bit sticky. So it works the same way, it's just bigger. So this one only has three SKUs, this has six, but every single SKU in the DX line is more intense than anything on the original spinner series is. And then it still has the drying rack on the bottom, which I think is awesome. So this would be like a natural kind of upgrade to the spinner. So if you have a spinner fan and they're kind of like, "Oh, I've had that one, but you haven't had the DX." Any questions on the spinners? Okay, moving right along. Another really great reusable item is actually the Flex, which is this guy. This is kind of our solution to an upgrade to the cups. You can kind of see that the shape is very, very similar. And then the suction operation is very, very, like it's the same. It's a hole. But this one is reusable. So this one has a nice plastic outside, but it's soft. The lid comes off. That's what the opening looks like. This one is really cool and really understated, I feel like, because this one it kind of does the work for you, honestly, because if you hold it and twist, it actually moves up the shaft on its own because of the suction. So this is really great for like those lazy days, you just don't really feel like doing anything, right? Again, the suction here, it's pretty intense. So this one is awesome. Give me a second because, of course, when I took the lid off, it decided to destroy the. There we go. Because the whole thing comes out to clean it like that. You can turn the whole thing inside out to get in there and wash it. But then, of course, because it is Tenga, there's a weight, there's more, right? The lid that came out of this flips like so. And then this guy can go back on here, and now you have a drying. Just as a pro tip, because as like retailers, you're gonna end up showing these toys and you're gonna take them out and clean them because that's what we do because we don't like gunky toys. Don't try to put this sleeve back in here without putting it on the stand, or you will be there for 90 years trying to do it. I don't know why it's like that, but when you can just put it in like this, it's super easy. If you try to do it without it, you will be very upset. So that's my pro tip for the Flex. And then you can just bend the lid right back, and now we got a Bluetooth speaker or something. No one knows what that is. Pretty cool, right? Oh, excuse me, sorry. I'm getting over being sickly, so my next item, what does that look like to you? That doesn't look like a stroker at all, right? Like this to me looks like the air freshener on the back of a toilet or something. Like you don't know. I love this toy so much. This is actually the Arrow. You pop him open like so. Again, we have a non-specific orifice. Anyone can use this toy. But what really makes this toy cool is you can kind of see that there are these cool little lines here, and they're kind of like old school like TV stereo lines where like big is like loud and small is quiet, right? So you can actually like turn it. And this is what's actually going to control the suction. So again, there's no motor in here. You're actually just following the lines to kind of feel out what you want to feel. And I'll show you what makes it do that on the inside in a second. But my hand sanitizer. So at its weakest, it's easy to move. It's like no effort. But if I crank this up to the max suction, like this is not moving. This is like so this actually is really great for people who are stamina training or people who are kind of struggling with EDS. Um, or erectile dysfunction. It's a really awesome, great toy, and it's a lot of bang for your buck because it's a reusable item. It's not going to break the bank, and it's really customizable and like what experience you want to feel. The whole thing comes out You can kind of see already this little ring is actually what is controlling the suction on the inside. You can also, I don't know, you can kind of see here, this is actually your control. So when you twist that, that's actually applying pressure to the ring and that's creating the seal, which is creating the suction. To wash this, you only want to fold it to about the ring. Oh, it sounds so gross. Sorry. You don't want to break the ring though. That's what actually controls the suction. Otherwise, it won't be any fun. And then, because wait, there's more. Our cleaning function is actually in the lid as well. So you can pull this up and twist it, and he will sit like so. And there's a nice little space in there so you can get airflow and water can drain out while it's drying. And then he can just go right back in, and no one will know what you did to the air freshener. I honestly feel like this is probably one of the most understated items in the entire like lineup. And we have so many different SKUs and people sleep on this one because they don't really understand it. But if you get your hands on a tester and can demo this for people, it's gonna move. It's amazing. Like honestly. This it smells like fabric softener. It's weird. All right. Have you guys seen the puffy? That would be the next progression there. I feel like if you haven't seen the puffy, you're gonna want to. This is like one of the items that I feel like I wish that you were all in the same room with me because this item is like a marshmallow. It's super squishy. It's really soft. The outside is silicone. The inside is a nice, kind of like a foam almost. But the reason that it is so tactile is it's meant to be used however you want. A lot of people can like put it against the wall. You can put it between the couch cushions, between your mattress and the box spring. You can squeeze. You can really customize what kind of pressure you want to feel. When you get them out of the box, it will have a scary sticker on the end that's like, don't use this end. That's just because it's the cleaning end. Nothing's going to happen. Um, Again, we have a non-genderized opening here. It's very, you can kind of see like already it's like super squishy and super tactile. When you open the other end, I mean, I guess you could use the other end, but I wouldn't recommend it just because you can see how it's curved here and it's going to like protect you from the plastic. This is not curved. So that could be not fun. But it's designed that way to be able to clean it because you cannot take the elastomer out of this toy. But it does have a cleaning feature you can kind of see in the lid here. There are these little knobs and they match up with these knobs. So it will just sit in the lid so airflow can get in there and clean it out. And then, you have a nice stress ball when you're not playing with it. If you ever see us in the wild, just come ask to squish the puffy, and we will be so excited to show you because this is super fun. So after the puffy, those are kind of the more like mid-range kind of pricing. We kind of like to go good, better, best, right? I know a lot of stores will do that as well. We kind of start getting into some of the more fancy items like the flips. The flips are really, really awesome for a lot of people, and we kind of created like a more approachable version so people can kind of ease their way into the flip series with the flip orbs. These are really awesome because they don't, again, don't look like anything. You can take his little hat off here, and that's the actual opening. Um, to open these, you kind of just put your hands here, put your thumbs here, and just pop it, and he'll just unzip. But this is called the flip orb because you can see that we have these little orbies in here. So what these are going to do when you're actually squeezing them, they're going to apply more pressure around the shaft of the penis. So they are a more intense stimulator. So the whole thing, this is a touchpad that you can kind of squeeze and customize what you want to feel. The most amazing thing, yes, I actually really, this is my favorite one, the orange one, just because it looks like there's a dumpling on the inside. Can you see the little xiaolong bao? Pro tip with this one. So you're gonna want to tell your customers you can loop it up on the inside by opening it, snap it closed. Its hat now actually goes on his head. And this is actually gonna lock it closed and keep it closed, and it's gonna keep all the lube inside the toy. One of them, I will show you the lube that comes out. It's wild. Then when you're done, you clean him out, you open him up, and you can wash him. And then he sits in his hat like, ooh, like so to dry. So easy peasy. We try to make everything nice, super like user friendly. And then when you're done and he's dry, his little hat goes back on, and that actually protects the opening from any kind of linty, yucky stuff. So that's the flip orb. And that comes in orange and blue. That one, it's a little tricky because they are kind of themed where the more intense color is the more intense item. So I believe the blue one is the more saturated item, so it's supposed to be the more intense one. But then I will show you. We have also, we kind of have the upgrade from that would be the regular flips. So this is actually the Flip Zero EV. So this one has some vibrators in it, which I can also show you. So it looks like that. It's very pretty, very sleek, very Bluetooth speaker-esque. I love it. This one has a power button here on the top. That's what actually can turn on the vibration, but you don't have to use it with the Vibe if you don't want to. It's nice to have the option. But this one actually opens a little bit differently. So we have our opening here, but this actually has these little arms that kind of come off here. And that's actually what holds it together. So same kind of concept. You're just going to squeeze along this little track here, front and back, pop them open, super easy. So you have all sorts of like things going on here. It's like a theme park for the penis for sure. These little black things are actually going to be your bullets. There's two different motors in here. So when you're squeezing it, it's actually going to kind of envelop the penis and have super intense sensations. When you're gonna use this toy, you have to make sure the little arms are on. And that's kind of what I was talking about with the orb, because if you don't, like lube comes out. So again, it's my sanitizer. I'm just gonna show you guys what that looks like when it creates, it's such a mess. Some people don't understand and they're like, no, it's fine, it's just leaking. So just going to town, when you take this off, even after just a little bit, like it's all gunky on the inside. So just, and you can kind of see here at the end as well, like we have lube, not lube, sanitizer trying to seep out. So just make sure your customer knows that that should always be on it when we're playing. So then when we're done playing with our toy, the actual bottom, which is its charging stand as well, it's a magnetic charge, is magnetic with the top of the arms. So it will sit like so. And then this guy just sits on top to air dry out. You see, yes. I say that so many times a day, and I feel like people look at me funny, but the things I'm like, if I had a penis, I know where I would be. So then when he's dry, you put him back together. He sits in his little stand. And I just want to show you guys these little metal bumps are not scary. They actually just line up with the charging port here on the inside of the toy so you can charge your motors up. And then it becomes toy storage. So the whole packaging is toy storage. I want my penis and write a name. My name is Snow. Yep. Now, we just released the Flip 360, which is like the upgrade to the regular flips. It does not have a motor, but I want to show you guys this because it has frills and chills and spills, and it is one of those toys that I'm like, well, I wish that I knew what that felt like. So this is the Flip 360. It looks like nothing. I mean, it looks like something. To me, it looks like an alien egg, but that's neither here nor there. Again, we have our non-anatomical opening. So this one opens a little bit tricky. If you're used to the flips, it's going to feel really weird. It took us a long time to figure out like the flow. But you can kind of see there's this like squiggly seam on both sides. You're just gonna open it the same way. You're gonna press on the top and you're gonna press on the bottom. And instead of it opening like this, it's actually gonna go forward and back. See? And then I want to show you this one has the Death Star in it. But this is super textured and it's shaped this way for a reason. It's actually shaped because the pressure pads on the inside now are more like full hand grip rather than like a sandwich, right? So it's not pressing on my finger joints, it's my whole hand is gripping, which is a little bit more natural, but it's 360 degrees of stimulation for the penis. It's not just, top and bottom. It's like all around. And you can kind of like you can stroke it however you want. Again, it's not motorized. There's no bracket on the outside this time, so it's a lot more user friendly. Um, Yep, that's that one. This is actually really awesome. We have two different colors, and this one does have that kind of color arrangement with like strong to weak. This is the emerald. You can't really see that it's green on camera, but it's a really pretty green. And then there's a purple, and the purple is the stronger, like more intense out of the two. So that is that. And then this one does not have the bell jar kind of storage for it, but its box is stunning and can totally be used as storage. But beyond that, its base actually does protect the bottom. And then to clean it, the more intense or stronger thing just means the texture. So the texture will be more stimulating, so it's a more intense experience. When you clean this toy, super easy to clean, but he just sits in a stand like a bunny and dries. And then I wanted to give you guys a rundown on the lubricants as well, our toy lotions. Something to think about with these beautiful things. What do you suggest for men that don't have a long penis? I mean, at that point, any of Tenga items, any of them would do because we're not focused on like size orientation for them. It's just going to be a level of like comfort, right? Like the spinners do really well. You squeeze the air out, so it's going to cling to your body, and when you pull it, it's still going to rotate around you. You don't have to have a long thing for that. Yeah, anything with Tenga. I think it's like some of our items, if you are like a little girthier or a little bit longer, get a little bit tricky, but only because they're in cases sometimes. So anything that doesn't have the case might be a little bit more comfortable, but it just really depends on like preference at that point. So this is our whole lotion. These guys, you can kind of see we have the red, white, and the black. So we know that that's the standard. This is actually, you'll get in every Tenga product, there's a sample of this lube for these. And then you have the white, which is going to be softer. It's really thick. So basically that means it's going to cushion the material so you're not going to feel as much of the stimulation so you can play longer. And then you have the hard version, which is really thin because they want you to feel all the details. So you have more intense stimulation. But it's specifically designed only for our toys. This is not for sex. Do not put this inside the body. It is not meant for that. And you can kind of see when you pop off this lid, it has a nozzle. And the reason it has a nozzle is because it's meant to be able to apply easily along the inside of the toy or along the opening, all that good stuff. So those guys, please do not use them for intercourse. That's not what they're for. Do we have questions on Tenga? I have a couple more things to show you guys. Sorry, I'm like sniffy and coffee. I'm like fighting for my life in these streets today. No questions. So we do have items kind of specifically designed with couples in mind, so I can show you guys those as well. First off would be the uni. At first glance, the uni doesn't seem like a lot. This is what its packaging looks like. It's very cute. It's called uni because it's universal. It's meant for everyone. Doesn't matter if you have a penis or a vulva or whatever. Um, so when you open them, they're kind of similar to the eggs in that you will have a little sachet of lubricant, and it looks like this. It's very cute, very demure. You can lube him up and it becomes an external stimulator, great for any erogenous zone. You can flip him inside out, and now we have a stroker. But also because of the way that the opening is, this is a really great like FTM toy as well, because it's not a crazy size. We have a nice petite opening. It's still stimulating in a way that is pleasurable, but it's not like trying to jump into the deep end of a pool. It's amazing. They're great couples toys as well. Can use them together. You can also still put them on the head of a wand if you wanted. And again, with this one, you're going to want to use it and throw it away. Just anything that's in these like packages that when you're done. Plus, they're cute colors. There's four different colors, and they're all like named after like like cool like diamond emeralds. Like I just wish they sparkled. If they sparkled, I think they would have me sold. Then, I don't know if any of you carried the SVRs, which are our version of the cock ring. We have the SVR one. This is kind of like the very first cock ring that we ever came up with, and it's still to this day really popular. It's a interesting shape. The concept is really interesting to me, but it does really well as like an intro. So for people who don't know if they want a toy or not, it's just a simple on-off. You can see the power button there. No speeds on it, since those are one-time use, so maybe. So again, there are one-time use, and so we will only ever guarantee it being awesome one time. With the reusable toys, we have a more definitive answer for like how many times you can use that, and that's anywhere between 40 and 60 times before it starts to like maybe need to be replaced. But these guys, again, we can only guarantee it being awesome once. So just one time. If they're gonna wash it and try to reuse it, like I couldn't even fathom like what kind of usage you would get out of it. It all is just gonna depend on like the person and like how, excited they are about the toy or enthusiastic. So after the Tenga 1 SVR 1 came out, we had the SVR, but then the SVR has now been upgraded to the pairing series, which look like these are our little charging cases, which are really cool. So the regular pairing looks like so. Take him out. Looks like that. Has our nice power button. The whole thing is silicone. It is magnetically rechargeable via its case here. The toy itself is IPX7 waterproof. The case is not. Keep the case away from the water. It will not work if it gets wet. This guy is super stretchy. I could probably put that on my arm like a bracelet. It's designed to have this is the pairing, PAIR and then ing. Um, this is designed with an up and down bullet because it fits nicely between bodies. It's not gonna be like rubbing against your pelvic bone or anything like that when you're using it. Also because we're trying to reach more of the female anatomy and, get more of the nerve endings kind of stimulated here. Something that I really liked, just having been in the industry for as long as I have, you see a lot of cock rings that have a vertical seam here, and like eventually that just pops, like you just rip it, right? This doesn't have that. So it's not like it obviously has a seam, but it's not going to be in a way that when you stretch it, it's going to break, which is really cool. Then we have the Pairing Plus, which is bigger and stronger. Yes, the plus is amazing. So you can see that we are bigger. We're also 1.5 times stronger than the regular pairing, but it functions basically the same way. We added an additional vibe setting to it. But honestly, the pairing by itself is really strong. This is like crazy compared to like it's like just for people who just need to be vibrating out of their skin. But again, super stretchy, no weird seam, and also IPX7 waterproof in its cute little case. No one, it's like you got some AirPods in there. No one's gonna know what that is. Yeah, the Plus has been really, really popular. Just in general, the SVRs, upgrading them with the motors and changing the charging port is now USB-C. Like it made a world of difference. So I'm hoping that more of our things get upgraded to that kind of system. Um, then we are going to move on to some vulva toys. Are you guys ready? Are you excited? I feel like everyone loves these. Yeah, see. So we have Iroha, which is Tenga's little sister. She popped up in 2013 on Women's Day, which is really fun. Kind of same concept. We wanted to kind of connect women with their bodies more and establish that self-pleasure is self-care. And we wanted to make it happen in a way that they didn't need to feel ashamed about having a toy. So you could leave these out on the shelf and no one's going to know what they are and they're going to look beautiful. So we have the Iroha ones, which were these here. These are very squishy. These are like the same outside material as the puffy, so they're very tactile. This is Midori. Majority means green, but this is a special edition version that is pink. This is Yuki, looks like a snowman, and we have Sakura, which looks like a flower petal. These are pretty strong. They're in terms of like the toy world in the US and like when you want something super like powerful like a doxy or like a magic wand or something, they're not gonna get that strong. They're not meant for that. These are meant for more like mindful experiences. Like you want to connect with your body. It's not gonna steal your orgasm away. You're just gonna like feel it, and enjoy the journey, not the destination so much. These are all kind of meant as exploratory items. So you can kind of decide what you want to feel, right? So we have like a really gentle pinpoint on this one. It fits nicely between bodies just because of the cute little curve here. Find the flower, that is going to be your power button here. And then the little metal things there are actually where it sits to charge. Yuki has a semi-insertable side, so if you want to experiment with insertion, this is your go-to here. And again, it's very squishy, very soft, non-threatening. And then Sakura is actually designed to let you experiment with pinching. So they all have the same motor, they all have the same functions. They're all super squishy. You just want to experience different things. That's kind of helping you explore those. Those eventually did so well that they got upgraded to the Aurora Plus series. I know Holiday carries the Kushi, so I wanted to show you guys the Kushi. This is actually supposed to be a hedgehog. I've had people tell me it looks like a garlic. I've had people tell me it looks like a shallot, and I was like, do you know what a shallot is? Because it's not this. But it's very cute. I think it looks like a mochi or something, like I want to eat it. But this is actually the upgrade to Midori. So you can see we have a more defined kind of pinpoint here. But what we did is we increased the motor. So we're just kind of upgrading. We're not taking away from, we're adding to. We increased the motor and then we added a really fun texture that is really great for grinding. So you can still kind of play with pinpointing anywhere you want, and then you can kind of grind against it as well. People actually use this mostly for grinding, I feel like. But the motor on this one, I think, is like 1.4, 1.5 times stronger as the original. And then we added an additional vibe setting and additional speed. So this one is more powerful than this guy. Excuse me. It looks like a lemon ring. Yeah, exactly. Where'd you get shallot? Like, who says a shallot? That doesn't look like a shallot. I was so spicy, let me tell you. The silicone on this one is a little bit firmer. It's still pretty tactile and squishy. It's just we're meant to be more exploring with texture, so we wanted it to be a little bit more intense in terms of like not as much resistance for these guys. And again, the bottom is where you'll find the power button, and then we are magnetically rechargeable. These guys are also waterproof. They are not IPX7 waterproof though. They can play in like I think 22 to 23 inches of water for a few minutes. But do not store them in the bathroom. You don't want to corrode your little charging port there. And then last but not least, we have the Zen Matcha. This is designed to look like a matcha whisk, if you guys know what a matcha whisk is. This one is a battery operated toy. It takes two AAA batteries, pretty easy. Fun fact is our battery operated toys come with batteries, so you don't have to worry about upselling them. They're already there. So this one I feel like gets a lot of flack, but it's not designed to be super intense. It's actually designed for people who don't want a lot of stimulation. It's a really gentle toy. We have our squishy silicone. We have fun textures, so you can kind of decide how you want to play with it, but it does not get very intense. And that's kind of the point. It's just for the customer who walks in and they don't want the magic wand. They don't want that bullet that comes in the clamshell because it's way too strong. Like that's what this is. And it's very, very cute. It just, I think, has three speeds. It's just a press and hold. And you just tap the bottom. You can see the flower. With the Roja, always find the flower. That's where your power button is. And that's the Zen Matcha. And that is all I have for you guys. You guys did it. We made it. Do we have questions? I love questions, no matter what they are. Let's go. Let's hear them. I'm just gonna squish the puppy while I wait. Lemon meringue.
No questions, anybody?
No? Oh. I didn't say oh, I'm so proud of myself. I feel like my this time is the cough that keeps happening, but no, I've just been talking to people for years and years and years. Like I said, I had been in this industry for, I think this is my 15th year now, Molly. I'm like, well, I'm getting there. I'm a veteran. I'm so glad that you guys loved it. Honestly, I love teaching about it. I think that so many of the Tenga products are so understated. 15 years, yeah, that's interesting. Like, not you don't see a lot of us in the industry that have been in one spot for as long, but Tenga is really understated. So I think a lot of times you really have to see it and kind of know how it works to be able to present it to your customers with toys and fit. Honestly, I was just having this conversation with someone this past week. When I first started in the industry, there were still like plug-in toys. Like Vibratex still had like a dual toy that plugged into the wall. And that blew my mind. As I went in the store, I was like, why you're gonna get electrocuted? And I kind of just watched the evolution between like battery toys became really popular and then they just phased out and then everyone wanted rechargeable toys, but there weren't that many on the market yet. And then now everything is rechargeable. And I think now I'm starting to see kind of a call for more people to have battery toys again. So it's like a cycle, honestly. But I think the biggest one is silicone, I think, in terms of like materials. You'll still find TPE and a lot of stuff. You'll find PVC a lot, but there's a lot of knowledge about how silicone itself is more hygienic, it's less porous. So it helps in terms of like cleanliness and cleaning and just people who have allergies to like latex or whatever. So I think that would probably be the biggest, is just the movement behind silicone in general. And I know it got tricky because there was a silicone shortage for a while, and so I see Molly like, oh, yep. So things have kind of stabilized, but it's really great seeing the materials that are coming out now that are designed to be like easy to clean and more body safe, I think. Because if you ever looked at an antique vibrator, you will be very grateful for silicone. What else we got? We got a little bit of time left. Yay! I hope that you do order more than the eggs. It's really such a cool line. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. Like I've sold it for a really long time and like a boutique level, and it always does well. It's just you have to be ready to explain it. That's the thing. Because a lot of them, again, look like Bluetooth speakers or they look like the air freshener on the back of grandma's toilet or something. Like you don't know what it is unless you can, open it and check it out. I want the eggs. Yes. I love that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That
You
was
are
really
so
great.
welcome.
I'll get this up on YouTube as soon as I can.
Yeah, and let me know if any questions pop up. I'm happy to answer them if you don't have the answers. I know that you do, though.